Bedtime. Finny the singing fish. In a quiet lake nestled between two towering mountains, there lived a little fish named Finny. Unlike all the other fish in the lake, Finny had a special gift. He could sing. His silvery scales shimmered like stars whenever he sang, and his voice sounded like the soft wind blowing through the trees. But Finny didn't sing for just anyone. He was shy and would only sing when he thought no one was around. Every day, he swam to the bottom of the lake where the water was cool and peaceful and sang to the rocks and seaweed. He loved to make up songs about the world above the water that he had never seen. One day, as Finny was swimming near the surface, he heard something strange. It was a sound he had never heard before, a beautiful melody drifting through the air. Curious, Finny swam to the top of the lake and peeked his head out of the water. There, sitting on a rock by the shore, was a girl with a flute. She had long, curly hair and a kind face. The music she was playing was soft and sweet, and Finny couldn't help but feel his fins twitch with excitement. Without thinking, he opened his mouth and began to sing along. At first, the girl didn't notice, but after a few moments, she stopped playing her flute and looked around, her eyes wide with surprise. "Who's there?" she called out. Finny quickly ducked underwater, his heart pounding. He had never sung in front of anyone before, and he wasn't sure if he was ready to be discovered. The next day, the girl returned to the lake. This time, she sat by the shore and hummed a little tune. Finny, hiding behind a rock, listened carefully. He could feel the music bubbling inside him, but he was still too shy to sing along. Day after day, the girl came back to the lake. Sometimes she played her flute, and sometimes she sang. Each time, Finny would listen, humming softly to himself from his hiding place. He wanted to join in, but something always held him back. One morning, as the girl was playing a particularly joyful tune, something unexpected happened. A large bird swooped down from the sky, its wings casting a shadow over the lake. The bird let out a loud caw and flew straight toward the girl, snatching her flute from her hands and carrying it high into the air. The girl gasped, watching helplessly as the bird disappeared into the clouds with her flute. Finny's heart sank. He had grown so fond of the girl's music, and now it was gone. For a moment, he hesitated, but then something inside him stirred. The lake had given him a gift, and it was time for him to share it. Taking a deep breath, Finny swam to the surface and popped his head out of the water. "Hello," he called softly. The girl, still looking up at the sky, turned around in surprise. Her eyes widened when she saw the little fish. Did you just speak?" she asked, her voice trembling with amazement. Finny nodded. "I can sing too," he said. "I've been listening to you for so long, and I think I can help." The girl smiled, though her eyes were still sad. "I don't know what I'll do without my flute," she sighed. Finny swam a little closer. "Let me try," he offered. The girl nodded, wiping a tear from her cheek. She sat back down on the rock and waited. Finny took another deep breath and began to sing. His voice was soft at first, just a gentle hum that matched the rhythm of the water. But as he continued, the music grew louder and more beautiful, filling the air with melodies that sparkled like the sunlight on the lake. The girl's eyes lit up as she listened, her sadness slowly melting away. She clapped her hands in delight and began to sing along with Finny, her voice weaving in and out of his song like a gentle breeze. For the first time, Finny wasn't afraid. He sang with all his heart, his voice carrying across the water and up into the sky. The other fish in the lake stopped to listen, and even the birds in the trees perched quietly, enchanted by the beautiful music. When the song finally ended, the girl smiled down at Finny, her eyes shining. "You have a gift, little fish," she said softly. "Thank you." From that day on, the girl and Finny became the best of friends. Every morning, she would come to the lake, and together they would make music, Finny singing and the girl humming along. Word of their magical music spread far and wide, and soon creatures from all over the forest came to the lake to listen. One day, as the sun was setting and the lake was painted in shades of pink and gold, the girl looked down at Finny with a twinkle in her eye. "You know, Finny," she said, "I think the world needs to hear your music." Finny smiled. "As long as I have a friend like you," he said, "I'll sing forever." And so the little fish who was once too shy to sing found his voice, and together with his friend, they filled the world with the most beautiful music anyone had ever heard. The end.